Hi there. So welcome to your week 4 assignment 3 feedback. So Jamie, let's start with yours. The primary colors definitely will give a sense of sort of childhood nostalgia. I think that's really a smart decision, and the sort of, I don't know, bus or truck-like shape that you have here definitely is a childlike or childhood-like image. I would recommend creating a pattern out of the shape. So maybe first, okay, a couple things. So rather than all of them pointing in toward the right, maybe flipping them around so they're mirroring each other, and then maybe do a large line, large line, small line. So really thinking about how to bring formality into the composition and keeping with the background as being sort of this bubbly type thing. So thinking about a rigid pattern on top of the background shapes, and making sure that the small ones that you have fit perfectly within the format of your composition, so that there's this really strong sense of formality in the foreground objects. Let's see, Raul, let's take a look. So relaxing is your term. So for a relaxing composition, you want to use a horizontal composition. A horizontal composition evokes a sense of the landscape, and that creates a sense of calm. And then you want to have a lot of horizontal lines. Horizontal lines, again, are very relaxing because we relate them to the ocean. So those will calm the viewer. You want to use your warm colors at a minimum, so very, very, very small shapes, and overemphasize the cool colors. So using the cool colors in the most predominant objects. I would imagine sort of abstractly interpreting a landscape or abstractly interpreting the ocean as your theme. Make sure that you have read through all of the lectures this week. Those will really help you to, again, fully grasp this idea of bringing relaxation not only in your color but also in your composition. Daniel, let's take a look. So gloomy, I think that you're going in the right direction with the horizontal composition, but right now it's feeling more calming. So kind of the sort of suggestions I was making to Raul, I want you to think about taking this composition and pushing it to overemphasize the darker values. The darker values will make it seem gloomier. Right now it's feeling like calm. So if you have the darker values and even some of these nauseating values like this darker desaturated tone of green, those will give a stronger sense of gloom. Right now, one of the focal points are these bubbles in the foreground, and those bubbles, because they're warm, they're actually enlivening and invigorating. I would use that color at a minimum and not as a focal point. So push it back in the background somewhere so the viewer's not really paying attention to it. And let's see, Victor. So refreshing. Refreshing is going to be the blue colors in the composite in your palette. So blues and greens. Right now, the imagery isn't sort of relating to this idea of refreshing. It's a very creative composition, but I don't get this sense of refreshment. So I think that you should go back and think about sort of subjects that we find to be very refreshing and revitalizing. Not you specifically, but thinking about a general viewer and a general audience, so that you are speaking of this descriptive term to a broader audience. Kind of thinking about this as, say, you're a freelance designer and your client comes to you and says, you know, we want to create a new branding and we want our branding to be very refreshing. Thinking about how to bring that concept to a broad audience.